Hey guys, it's Yo and welcome back to the Yo Gaming Show and another episode of Valheim Basics. Where we left off, we learned about our basic inventory and tools that we start off with. We learned about food. Today we're going to learn about hunting, and hopefully we can make some armor, because just wearing these pants isn't enough. And yeah, we'll talk about other subjects along the way. Oh, side note, if you hit Control F3, it gets rid of everything. So if you want to take a fancy picture for like this, like, oh, that looks so nice right there. We'll just capture that. And I just had thought it was important because I had to Google it because it doesn't tell you anywhere in the game where to do it, much like a lot of things in this game. So there are a few animals we can hunt. There are deer. Probably been hearing them throughout the first episode, kind of doing that thing. They're hard to kill when you're... Oh, by the way, control is sneak. And that's also a skill that you upgrade. Uses your stamina. Want to stop from time to time and let it recharge. I'm getting sneak because there's actually something here to hide from. You just sneak and there's nothing around, it will not bring up your sneak skill. And in the beginning, it'll come up very quickly. This boar, there's two boar, they actually attack you, so you have to be careful. But I need food, and I need some, hopefully, leather. See if I can sneak up on him. What I'm noticing. Boar. There we go. And you also get a bonus for a sneak attack. So there we go. Crude bow, leather armor, basics, shield. Ooh, and the raft. Power shield as well. Talk about that here. Where's that other one? Gonna see me. Yep. So I don't get the same sneak attack. I think it is double the damage. Oh, I got some raw meat there, so I can actually cook that. The nice thing about killing boars is that, for the most part, they don't run away. There is a point where they can get frightened and run, but they usually end up coming back to attack you. So, since we got some raw meat, we'll run back to our little shack here and eat a raspberry and that wood. So now we need to make a cooking station. Just build it like this and place it over the fire, and then you press E and it will put anything you can cook on it, but you need to watch it, because if you don't watch it, it'll turn into charcoal. So when you leave it for a bit here, it'll make a hiss. Come on, make a hiss, don't make me a liar. Three, two, one, hiss. Oh, look at that, it did it. You press E and it'll pop it off. If it hisses once, you're fine. If it hisses twice, then your stuff is like roasted and it's not edible. So now if we watch in the bottom left here, because we've already eaten a raspberry and our hunger or our fullness and our stamina and everything has gone up. See, do that, and now it's going to bring the rest of it up. And if we sit down, rested by the fire, it will bring up our life bar. Gotta give it a little time. Every bit of furniture that you put in your place adds to the comfort level, which gives you a higher rested bonus. Just one more. We're almost there. So this is very advantageous because you want to have high hit points, obviously, for when you go out in the garbageness that can be this place sometimes. So I do have a piece of leather, though. I don't think I can make... I don't know if that's enough to make any leather. Yeah. Tunic, we need 5 leather scraps. We only have 2. We need for pants. So this is our first basic armor. Our crude bow needs scraps and wood. We can make arrows, but we can't make anything else. Shield, resin, so a lot. Again, leather scraps for the first bit here. So that's what we need to look for. So while we're doing that, let's do a little bit of exploring around here. It's daytime now. The sun is coming out, and hopefully this fog will lift. In the beginning of the game, you're gonna want to mind your stamina, like I said in the last episode, but Sometimes running up hills you have to run, otherwise your guy will just kind of stand on the side of the cliff. Again, we've got the mini map in the top right to kind of keep an eye out for things. This is where you're gonna have to be careful, because in some of the other biomes that you'll be finding, it will be pretty dangerous. Oh, look, we found another house. That's another option, too, when you play this game. You can run around and see if you can find another building. It's good to look in here and see if there's anything. Another thing is... Oh. Pardon me. Have enough. Yes, I do. Not always a good idea, but in this case, I'm gonna break everything down and get all this wood, because we need this material. And he goes right for my workbench. There. This is what I think of you, Grayling. And you too. Come here. I know I'm not fighting with the club, but just because I had the axe, and it is one of my... Oh, there's a deer. Oh, look, a blue car. I used axes in our game for the longest time. Each weapon has an advantage over a different type of enemy. So, like, you get bludgeoning damage with the axe. Oh, we got some mushrooms, which are great for later in the game as well as in the beginning, because they're one more thing we can eat and raise our stamina. But the one thing that I found was out later that you can actually make like different like higher end food items with a combination of different things you find. So something to keep in mind. Don't eat all your mushrooms, because sometimes you need them for stuff. Okay. Where are... Oh, we're at... This is a little early on, but you need to summon the first of your prey, Eikthyr here. Eikthyr here. This tree is bugging me, so I'm just gonna cut it down. We're gonna take this basics probably right through to Eikthyr. I've never taken him on by himself, so that might be a problem. You can see here it says too hard, because we need a higher end axe to cut down that tree. And you see, you got to be careful, because a rolling log can even damage you. And depending on your status in the game, how high a level your armor is, and how much hit points you have, a rolling log can kill you, and it's killed me before. Come on. Just when you're trying to get some work done here, people always interrupt, you know? Can't you see I'm on a deadline? There we go. And I'm not too concerned in this area, because the Meadows is a pretty calm zone, which, you know, as far as I know, you will always start in here, and you will work your way towards... Why is he not picking up that mushroom? There we go. That's weird. So we'll just kind of keep working here. If you look at the map, you zoom in, that's where our house is, where the bed is. That's where we started. That's where I died the first time. If you're playing with other players, just click that button and everyone else can see you. Here's our different markers. So what we could do is just beside it, double click, and you just go home, so you know where you are. If something of interest, if this wasn't marked, then you could come in here, just double click anywhere, and, you know, cool. That's cool. If you don't want it anymore, well, sorry, you just right click and it'll get rid of it. So double click, right click to get rid of it. The center mouse click is to point out on a map. If you're playing with other people and you want them to know where to go next, just go, hey, I want to go head over here. So, and it'll put your character's name beside it as well. I've just called my guy YGS. So that's what it'll show them, so at least they know who's telling them to head over there. Okay, so I got in here and I found this chest full of stuff, and I killed a boar and got a boar trophy. But because of that, now when I go to a workbench, I'm going to have a bunch of new recipes. I found some flint, which we can use to make a better axe, which will allow us to cut down those trees that were saying that was too hard before. Okay, so now we found something that's not usually found in the meadows biome. It's usually found in the other ones, but we found some bees. So the best way to get rid of these, or to get them, is to use the bow, shoot there, break it. You'll get honey from it, and sometimes you'll get a queen. And if you get a queen, you will be able to actually build your own hive at your house. It's cool. And if we get around to getting our bow, maybe we can go back and shoot that. But here's a prime example of why the marking system is good. So we're right here. So let's go say hive. There. Now we know, so it won't get lost. You will find though, as you play, your map can get really filled up really quick. But it's great to have that reminder, because there's so many different things going on that you may miss it. So let's head back and see what we have for our materials. We can build anything. Oh, side note, if you're carrying something, like your axe or something, put it away. It'll help you run faster. So now we've got because I found the flint. We have a flint knife. Where is the flint axe? So we've got 2 flint, and we need 6. So that's something we'll need to look out for. Flint is usually found alongside bodies of water. So if we look at our map here, we want to go along here, look for flint. Okay, now we found this body of water. Another thing we have to watch out for are these guys, called necks. They can be a bit of a pain, but usually they only attack you when your back is turned. You're near the water. These necktails, when you cook them, are really good for stamina. When you get a bow, you want to shoot these birds because you get feathers. Now we're along the water's edge here, and we just look here. There's some flint there. It's always along waters. It could be like big bodies of water like this, or it could be small little lakes and rivers and streams and stuff. So keep an eye out for it. You just kind of run along here. Oh, side note, these guys don't like fire. So if you bring out your torch, sometimes they'll run away from you. And make it hard to hit them sometimes. Like me? Well, I don't like you. Come here. There we go. Keep them on the defensive, you know? So as it gets darker and darker, it's nice to have the torch. As it's burning, the durability is going to go down. And eventually, it'll just go out. So I figured for what I'm doing right now, it's going to be hard to watch with that torch blaring. So another neck in the water. So you got to keep in mind that right now we are in the very, very beginnings of the game. Once you get a bow, that like makes everything so much better. Shut that door. What do we have in here? Ooh, some money, some feathers. I don't break down every building that I find, because sometimes it's nice to keep them for situations like getting stuck in the rain and hiding inside there. It's always great. Side note, another thing I didn't mention is that if you something drops, you'll get these little like twinkling star things coming up from it, so that you don't lose it in the long grass, because sometimes it gets hard to see. Got it. Got meat that time. I think I think we have enough to make a bow now. Let's head back to the head back to the house and see if we've got enough now. Okay, now that we've got the material, we can go ahead and make our crude bow, which is very important to help us get the leather we're going to need later. So we also, for hunting purposes, I would suggest just going with the wooden arrow in the beginning. These flint head ones I found, we could make more, but they're expensive. They're better for if you are fighting something larger. For basic hunting deer and boar, just use the wooden arrows for now, because there's wood everywhere. So now we can make our flint axe because we've got enough flint now to make that. And we'll go ahead and make a hoe. So we learned a whole bunch of stuff with the hoe. So what else can we do here? Oh, yes. We can make a rag tunic. So that we're not completely armorless now. We have 1 armor. Woohoo! Okay, so what else do we got here? We can make a flint spear. Or we can make a flint knife. For weaponry. Let's make that, see? We haven't a flint yet. No. We'll try making the spear another time because we ran out of material. Oh jeez. I didn't realize I was already Oh Yon. Why did you make a rag tunic when you already had one? Oh boy. Next time we'll make rag pants. But you know what? For this, let's just go out and try out our new bow. Because I've seen a lot of deer that I wanted to shoot while I was hunting the boar because the deer run away. Let's go. Now there's not going to be any deer around now that I'm looking for them. For some right by the house, I could hear them. Some raspberries while I'm out hunting. Oh, there's. You get spooked very easily. Have to be careful. My buddy Runkle also told me that he read online that if you're downwind from them, they'll smell you. With this crude bow, you have to aim pretty high to get them because the arrow drop is pretty substantial. Let's see if I can get this one. Got him. Oh jeez, he ran right to me and I missed him. I'm used to using my newer bow that doesn't quite have so much of an arrow drop. See him there. Alright, so we just got a bunch of stuff here, deer hide and whatnot. That'll allow us to make some better stuff. But you know what, guys? I'm going to leave this episode here because it's getting a little long. But in the next episode, I'll collect a bunch of the materials we need, and I'll show you guys how to make some other stuff. And we'll do a extension to our house. We'll make it a little bit bigger. The options are you can stay where you start, but a lot of people branch out. Like, maybe we'll put a house on the side of the water here. Maybe that, you know what, maybe that's what we'll do. Instead of making this house bigger, maybe I'll make a larger one in the meadow here near the water so that we can also try making the raft, and I can show you guys that in the next episode. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments. And as always, happy gaming.